Monday, December 16, 2019. I'm Ron Friedman, and these are the Cryptosphere's top stories for today, brought to you by BLOCKTV's reporters. VeChain calls on the crypto community to help block the transfer of $6.5 million in hacked funds. Vitalik reveals he urged the Ethereum Foundation to sell tens of thousands of ETH at all-time high prices. And finally, Tokyo puts blockchain to work on the railroad. VeChain is the latest crypto company to suffer from a hack after it revealed over the weekend that 1 billion VET tokens, which amounts to approximately $6.7 million, were stolen from a buyback wallet. Crime reporter Jona Hochhauser has the details.
Another day, another hack attack. This time, it was on the VeChain's foundation wallet. VeChain is an enterprise blockchain used by industry giants like Walmart, PwC, BMW, LVMH, Renault, Cyprus government, Chinese government, and many more. VeChain is claiming the hack was due to human error, and the hacker got away with 1.1 billion VET token. VeChain says they have been tracking the stolen funds and have essentially blacklisted the illegal wallet with major exchanges. So far, the hack hasn't affected VeChain's partnerships with any of the aforementioned, but its VET token has lost 18% of its value since the hack.
Jona with us in the studio now. So what's developed since the hack happened over the weekend?
All right, well, since the hack happened, VeChain co-founder and CEO Sunny Liu actually did an AMA on Periscope, and he went there and he explained, first off, he apologized and he explained to the community in full transparency what happened. Let's take a look.
Firstly, I want to apologize sincerely to everyone who has to go through this. And as a CEO, I hold accountability for really what happened. Besides the remediations taken, the investigation start immediately as well. Now I want to share the full transparency about what happened.
All right, so Jona, here they seem to be taking a page out of the Binance playbook, going out, doing an AMA, kind of being transparent about it. What's your take?
Exactly. I mean, essentially that it works. It works. It worked for Binance and it works here because hacks happen, human error does happen, but what we want to see from the community and what we saw here was that the CEO, not some low-level person, the CEO went out there, put his face, put his name online, apologized to the community, explained exactly what happened, and said what steps they'll be taking next time. That's all we ask for.
All right, thanks, Jona. We'll be following where those funds end up as we go along throughout the week. Next up, Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin gave a wide-ranging interview on a podcast with Eric Weinstein, published over the weekend. In it, he let slip a statement that stirred a little bit of controversy about the sale of Ethereum back in 2017. Ron Spitzer with us to break down the story. Hi, Ron.
Hi. So yeah, I mean, this was taken in as a big deal, I think, by publications in the space as a whole. Basically, Buterin said that he convinced, is the terminology used, the Ethereum Foundation to sell 70,000 ETH at its high of $1,400. So, not a small feat there. He said this on that episode, and we should take a listen before we keep talking.
That it's actually accomplished to hold a candle to the promises that the market is ascribing to it. And I mean, the subtext of my answer is not yet, and I was proven very right fairly quickly. But
you didn't short it, did you?
So I did get the Ethereum Foundation to sell about 70,000 ETH, basically at the top, and that's doubled our runway now. So, and it was one good decision that had a lot of impact, but did not short.
So, Ron, I detected a bit of hesitancy there when he was asked whether he's shorter or not, right?
Right, because ultimately it's intention, right? If the intention was to make a quick buck, you were in the wrong, Mr. Buterin, and if the intention was just, oh look, we're at an all-time, because what he was speaking about in there is the fact that the crypto sphere, he didn't feel like was ready to be at the monetary value that it was at the time, and apparently his choice was to sell. Now, in there, Buterin says that he didn't short, right, as we saw, which is speculated to actually be a lie. But again, he's saying it, so there's nothing we can counter that. But one of the best examples of a connection like this is Charlie Lee of Litecoin, who famously sold off / donated all of his Litecoin, also at the same all-time high values, and that is not associated with anything positive. And Buterin doing the same thing brings us to that
Depends on how you
point.
spin it. I mean, he calls it a doubling the runway, which fair enough. Ethereum has been active in putting out products ever since, but nonetheless raising some eyebrows there among the community. Thank you very much, Iran. All right, next up, we're moving from crypto to blockchain. The city of Tokyo in Japan appears to have found a good use case for the emerging technology. Zaki Anasi is here with the details, but first, this report.
There are fewer countries around the world with a better handle on public transportation than Japan. From crowded metros to bullet trains, the Japanese transit system is renowned for its efficiency, if not for its spaciousness. It's a system that works, and for that reason, the Tokyo metropolitan government has decided to use it as the first leg of their Yuwa Coin program. The Yuwa initiative is an attempt by the Japanese government to move the city towards a cashless system by rewarding commuters who pay without cash, giving them Yuwa coins, which can presumably then be exchanged for more rides in the future. This step towards cashless life is in compliance with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, a series of guiding principles that describe an ideal, progressive, and sustainable society. And it looks like crypto is a great tool to help achieve them.
All right, Zaki Anasi, what's the story here? Who's going to be using this coin?
Right, so the Yuwa Coin program, according to an article from Brave New Coin, Tokyo Yuwa coins are going to be given to people who use cashless payments for expenses linked to contributing to the Sustainable Development Goals put out by the UN, such as commuting during off-peak hours to alleviate crowding during the morning and evening rush hour, and using their own eco bag for shopping, as well as reducing plastic waste. So overall, it's a huge step towards creating a more sustainable environment and reaching those goals. So kudos to you, Tokyo.
All right, Japan putting blockchain to use. Thank you, Zaki. Now, in the latest industry legal drama, the New York Attorney General's office and troubled crypto exchange BitFenix traded harsh words via court filings over the weekend. Whitney Deal's report has the details.
It's all about the money.
The battle between the New York Attorney General and BitFenix wages on. The conflict began back on April 25th of this year when New York Attorney General Letitia James published legal filings against BitFenix, alleging that the crypto exchange had defrauded its customers in losses of $850 million and secretly took funds from their affiliated Tether in order to cover it up. BitFenix and Tether responded by filing a motion to have the case dismissed, arguing that the Attorney General doesn't have jurisdiction over them since they do not allow New Yorkers on their platforms. Fast forward 8 months to a filing made on December 4th by James that outlines claims that BitFenix and Tether are attempting to stop the ongoing investigation, and the war is getting nastier. Not mincing words, James stated that it is particularly perverse for respondents to criticize the adequacy of the Office of the Attorney General's potential legal claims when respondents are the ones who have refused to disclose documents and information that would be directly relevant to their liability. Lawyers for BitFenix and Tether responded that the New York Attorney General does not have authority to investigate Tethers as they are not securities or commodities. Furthermore, legal counsel for BitFenix and Tether stated that because they are private companies, they do not need to inform customers of risks to their deposits, despite claims that Tether had been fully backed by the U.S. Federal Reserve. Whitney Deal for BLOCKTV.
And here we are, Troll of the Day. With us to break it down is Zaki Anasi. Zaki, we have a cryptic note to end today's shows with?
That's absolutely correct. So last year, the founder of Quadriga CX, it's a big fancy crypto exchange, his name is Gerald Cotton. He went ahead and died very suddenly and very mysteriously. And he took with him information in the old noggin of the passwords that are responsible for accessing all of the exchange's crypto. Now, 12 months later, the lawyers representing the users of Quadriga CX who got hung out to dry are seeking to exhume the CEO's body. I guess that they just want to check and make sure he's actually down there and not living it up in South America somewhere. But in the event that he didn't fake his death, however, it's going to be a very disappointing realization. They dig up a corpse that's been decaying for a year.
Bad publicity, bad image. Yeah, nobody wants to see that.
Super dead. That is one dead guy. Let's break for coffee.
Very good. Thank you, Zaki. That was Around the Block for today. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to BLOCKTV for more cryptocurrency and blockchain news.
For more news and updates, follow us on Twitter